It's the Leaning Tower of Compaq. Yeah, I got other things to mess around with right now, but here I am screwing off with old computer junk that I purchased. Well, it would have been for that price had I not negotiated a little bit. I did not pay anywhere close to that. And this, for this sticker price, this is not even remotely close to being worth it. It's a Compaq Presario. What is that? S5000NX. These are good rebuildable cases, standard ATX and all of that, but outside of that, it's just got a crappy Celeron, Windows XP Home Edition COA on the top. Probably doesn't even work. But I figure, at the very least, for what I did pay for it, this looks like a CD-RW, and the floppy drive, and, you know, the fan, the CPU cooling fan, and what else is in here? Power supply in the case is well worth, maybe even well worth this. But, like I said, I didn't pay that. I wouldn't have paid that. They also had an Optiplex GX280 that I was going to buy there at the same time, because I thought, when I just looked at it, I thought that it was in the MyTac case, you know, the similar case to the Dimension 2300. But on closer inspection, it was just one of those clamshell, the so-called Uglyplex designs, and I got no use for those. I already have one, so who cares? Looks like there's a floppy in that drive. I didn't even notice that until now. Guess I got a free floppy. So I'm going to pop the cover on this. Well, before I pop the cover on it, we'll go ahead and have a look at the other side. What's on the back? Very bare bones machine. If you have a look here, here's the power supply. I don't know what it is. Probably a Bestech if I had to guess. Piece of junk. Could probably put a better power supply in that. There is no fan. I thought there was. PS2, serial parallel VGA, couple USB ports, onboard Ethernet, sound. There is a video card, it's just PCI. There's a modem that's useless, and it looks like that is a D-Link wireless card that's missing the antenna. So I guess I'm going to have to find an antenna for that, but I could probably put that to use for something. Powered speaker is required for sound. It's not focusing on it. There it goes. So I'll put that back into autofocus. And just like the HP that you may or may not have seen a video of already, I'm going to just pull the thumb screw off, have a look inside. I did get this off in the store very easily. I guess now it's not coming off, probably because it's on video. Alright. No hard drive, of course, but I didn't expect one. I just hope that there's going to be enough screws to mount a drive. It looks like I've got screws right there, so that should be good enough. What's this? It's like a blanking plate. Alright. Pretty standard board. Looks like socket 478. I see a bulging capacitor, a couple bulging capacitors. Probably junk. Didn't test it. That's a pretty beefy video card, though. Holy crap. I wonder what that is. Got a ridiculous toolless mounting bracket on the side. It's actually a high-pro power supply. So, not junk. Not top of the line either, but certainly not junk. I think this, yeah, this is socket 478. I recognize that cooler. I think they replaced the fan. There was a similar fan in the other machine. Probably doesn't work. I wonder who made this board. I don't see any telltale, really much of anything on it. It's got the RAM installed. I guess I have to find out what kind of RAM that is. Might do that later. I'll get all this wiring out of the way. I don't see any identifiable markings on this board anywhere. Oh, mat number 137001, Imperial GLVE, 2002-12-18. Wow, so it's about 16 years old. As of a couple days ago. That's kind of cool. The Dell had nothing installed in it. All the cards were removed. So that was another reason why I picked this one up. Even though this one probably doesn't work. The Dell may have. I guess I'll find out. I guess they're only in the voltage regulator, so it may be okay. Well, I don't like to run them like that. That process case, the process board is exactly the same way. Couldn't put that in here. This is only micro ATX. But I can't tell who made this board. So I guess I'm going to have to pull cards out. I want to look for identifiable markings. But I don't really care. I'm going to just hook this thing up and see what it does. Well, no point hiding from it now. You're taking bets whether it's going to blow up in my face? I hope not. I haven't had a computer explode in a while, so I'm overdue. Comes on. Probably doesn't work. Oh, shit. Sorry for my language, but I was not expecting that. Holy crap. Oh, that's not the button I want to push. That is impressive. 1 gig of RAM. Celeron 2.5. Wonder what I got in my Socket 478 collection. Check time and dates. The CMOS battery is dead. Okay. Yep, 2 512 meg sticks. 1.25 megabyte. That's odd. I haven't seen that in a while. Reset all the way back to the beginning of time. After AC power failure. I'm not even going to choose auto. I guess maybe I will choose auto. It's kind of odd. It's a Phoenix BIOS. Not that I think it really matters. Removable devices. I wonder if this thing would support USB booting. Guess I'll find out. I don't know why I'm messing with this. I got a whole bunch of other projects I need to work on. So yeah, that actually might work out as something useful. Could probably use that for something. Like maybe a PFSense firewall or something. You know, get off the wireless and go through the Ethernet, assuming the wireless is actually supported. Under something like PFSense, I don't know. But, could be a nice rig. Either way, I know I gotta put a hard drive in it. So let me go dig through my stash of hard drives. Maybe I'll find a battery for this thing. Actually, I probably can find a battery for this thing. There might be one that I pulled off of that HP board. So let me do that. I just noticed there's a screw in this case right here, this little silver thing. That looks like it goes to nothing. So I'm going to find out where it goes with the camera, because I can't see in there. Ah. Goes to a little blanking plate. This little thing here. Probably just going to pull that out, because I could use that screw for something, maybe. I guess I'll find out later on. I still need to find a drive for this thing. Okay, after getting the super stuck-on front panel off the case, as it turns out, there are actually a couple of tabs on the top that you need to angle the case kind of outwards in order to get out. That was kind of annoying. Good thing I didn't break them. But I got a hard drive installed in there. It's a 7200.7 Seagate drive, 80 gigabytes in size. It actually came out of the Process computer. It's already got a Windows XP installation on it. Of course, it's probably going to crap all over itself going into this system, but I'm still going to try it. And we can see this here. This little front thing. And then this actually is inside. And it's mounted using this. So I wonder if I could pull that out easily. Can't get to the other side of the case, so if it's got screws in it, that really would be irritating, but I don't think it does. So probably need 2 hands to remove that, though. And I also noticed that I have got all the drive mounting screws for this, so that's awesome. Whoever took this thing apart, or took the drive out, and donated this, actually knew what they were doing. I hate it when people, you know, take out all the screws and all of that. Although it looks like these are for hard drive screws, and these are for CD-ROM screws. So these are probably fine threads. They might not work. But doesn't really matter, I guess. Probably could have got away with only having, you know, 2 screws in the drive, but I don't like doing that. So let me get this thing all back cabled up, and we'll fire it back up again so I can go ahead and see if this is going to work. I just can't believe the system works at all. I want to know what video card this is without pulling it out. Although I think it tells me when it boots up, so I might have to look at that. well, I'm a dork, and I'm sure that there's going to be several people who've posted that in the comments already. I put the screw in the wrong hole, so this was sticking way out here, and I couldn't put the faceplate back on. So I fixed that now, so these are in the correct place. But I figured that while I was here, it gives me an opportunity to talk about this, which I forgot about. Like usual for these HP and Compaq systems, this thing uses Torx head screws. And what's more is somebody apparently borrowed my Torx driver without telling me, and they didn't put it back. So I had to use this piece of crap flat blade thing. But of course it doesn't really matter. I'd rather use the flat blade anyway. It's much more standard. So, we'll see. I still haven't got this out though. I'm going to have to check that out. I'll tell you more about that here in just a few minutes. Yep, that wasn't too bad. It's just a press fit. It fits in there pretty tight though, so that was why I couldn't get it out very easily. But it's nice to have that in there. I might leave that in there until I put in a second drive. If I ever put in a second drive, I might not bother with this, since it's just probably really just going to be a test box. Who knows, I may even flip it. I don't really know yet. I'm probably going to use it to replace my HP D530, which was my test machine for various things. But I really just want to see if this Windows XP is going to start up in this completely different motherboard, completely different set of hardware. They both got Intel chipsets though, so I'd assume it probably will. Okay, faceplate's on. Let's go ahead and power it up. Just left it plugged in. Oh, it looks like my monitor cable came loose. Doggone this thing. Alright, we're in setup. Hard drive is detected. I wanted to see if this optical drive worked. It might not when it's facing on its side. Oh, it does. Oh, there's a disc in it. Cool colors, CD recordable, 700 megs. And it's got something on it, too. Might have to see what that is. Might actually have been a server, you know, thinking about it, with the floppy and the CD. So I guess I'll have to check up on that. Ooh, it rebooted. Wonder if that was bad. GeForce FX 5200. Yeah, piece of crap. I think it's a PNY card, if I read that correctly. Let's see if it boots to the hard drive. Sure is taking its jolly sweet time. Is it going to go any further? Let me have a look here. I just checked, it is an actual NVIDIA card. Wonder if it'll boot now. Probably not. Hard drive light is not on solid though, so that is a good sign. Every time I hit Control-Alt-Delete, the system shuts down and turns back on, so that's probably not a good sign. I wonder if the F12 boot menu would work. I think it's F12 on these machines. Maybe it's F9. I'll beep yourself. Nope, doesn't look like it. Wonder if I could enable that. Probably. Let's see if I can enable that. I don't know why I'm messing with this piece of crap. I have so many other things that I could be doing. Okay. Is it going to do anything here? I wonder if it'll boot anything. Maybe the hard drive controller is bad. Well, let's try the floppy. Control-Alt-Delete. Turn off and back on again. Yep, just a regular NVIDIA card. FreeDOS. At least it'll boot to the floppy, maybe. And if it'll go any further than that. My time is precious. I don't have it to be wasting. Ugh. That sounds bad. Yeah. Let me try something else real quick. Oh, it did something here. PC Inspector Clone Max. Not familiar with this program. Not offhand, anyway. I wonder if I could check what's on that CD. I remember we used to have to do this all the time. Okay. Scanning IDE devices. It's like a cloning program, maybe. Well, it does work. Got an 80 conductor cable. Well, that's not good. It's not seeing my CD-ROM. Not enough drives to perform copy. Operation terminated. So yeah, it looks like a cloning program. Let me see what the deal is with that CD-ROM. Okay, well, it did work. It booted to a Devuin disk. Wonder if I could do a Devuin install. Do I really want to waste my time? So I got other things to do. Maybe I'll look at it in another video. So at least I know that it starts. It will somewhat work, but it won't read that Windows install. Maybe I'll get something that'll boot to a desktop. I might have a couple things. A couple older versions of Linux. Okay, I found a Ubuntu like 10.04 disk. It's really old school, but I need to use a CD because I don't have a DVD drive in here, and I'm not going to put one in just yet. So I'm going to just let that boot, see if it will boot, and just do a couple things with it. I guess it's probably safe to plug into my network. Okay, I pulled out the video card and the modem because I wasn't going to keep either of those in it. I wanted to make sure that the video card did not have a blown fan, but because this is a test system, I'm probably not going to leave the video card in there anyway, so I just put these slot blanks in here, just random blanks I had laying around. This toolless system is, of course, a piece of crap, like they usually are. Here's the modem. It's just another one of these Win modem things nobody really cares about. So that'll probably go to the scrap heap, but this is actually probably worth something. Not very much, being only a GeForce FX 5200, but the fan is not toasted. Believe it or not, that actually turns pretty nicely, so usually those tiny fans have burned up by now. I mean, some of them have even melted. But like I said, I don't really need a big beefy video card in here unless there's something wrong with the onboard. So I guess I'm going to find out right now if this is going to work. Comes on almost immediately. Let me put my CD back in the drive. We'll boot it up and see what it can do. And then I really got to move on because I have other things to do. Wow, that's low res. It does actually display, though. When I was booting Linux, booting Ubuntu with the video card, the display turned off during the boot process, which was kind of annoying. I don't know what that hard drive light's doing. Did it lock up? I don't have a caps lock LED. Well, it didn't crash, maybe. I don't know. Guess I'll find out. Yeah, it bombed out. That's interesting. Maybe I'll put the video card back in and see what happens. Yep. Video card turned off. But it is booting again, so maybe I'll just leave that GeForce card in there. I wonder why doing that causes that. Well, probably something wrong with the motherboard. Oh well. It's no worse than my D530. At least it does work. At least somewhat. I can actually install something on it, theoretically. You can boot it up into a live medium and it'll actually work instead of crashing. It just locks up on the D530. Actually, I could probably take the DVD drive out of the D530 and put it in this and have the CDRW for something else. I don't need a burner in a test machine, so... I'll let this thing start up and I'll come back. Well, that looks brilliant. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. Will not win any speed records. What if I could actually install this to the hard drive? Probably not. I'm not going to waste my time. I really wanted to see what this thing will do on YouTube. Probably won't even work. It's got the old version of Firefox. Yeah. I remember when that used to be a currently supported version. I think they're up at like 60-something now. It's really too bad. Let's see if YouTube will even try and work. Your browser is deprecated. Who cares? I'm just curious if it'll do anything. Well, it's not completely broken. Let me see if I can load up a video here. Let's see if this will work. I doubt it very highly, because it's not loading. Alright, clicked on it and the CD drive went nuts, so... Yep, I think that's too old. Everything else works, though. So, if I want to do much else with this, I think I'm going to have to install a currently supported version, or a newer version of Linux, which I probably will do. Well, I will be doing it when I actually get this thing set up for use, but for now, I'm going to shut this off. I got other things to do, so... That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then, of course, it obscures the message to shut down, but just push the enter key, and it turns off, just like that. Peace and quiet.